It is a great joy and honor to come into your homes and your minds with a message of empowerment and enlightenment. This is Emmanuel Mensah, a co-founder of the Eagle Mentality Group. At the Eagle Mentality Group, we teach and propagate information about the power of thought, universal laws and principles, and how these laws and our thinking patterns comes together to create our realities. We create our own realities, all human beings, regardless of who you are, regardless of what you are. And as a matter of fact, you don't have to actually have to know this, and you don't have to believe it. But that is the truth. And as I've always been saying, there are a lot of things that happened in our lives or in the lives of humanity before we discovered some of them. Those who lived before the discovery never knew it happened or it was happening, but it was a reality. We are all on the earth. The earth is spinning. There are millions of people who don't even understand how the revolving of the earth on its axis works. But the fact that you don't understand or they are ignorant about it doesn't mean that this particular phenomenon is not happening. We are all in it. And so it is, we are creating our own reality. So today, as usual, I'm here to have this kind of conversation with you with regards to our own lives. And yesterday, I spoke to you on the role of the church and how the church must step in to help develop Ghana and Africa in general. And so today I'm going to speak on a different aspect of our lives, and that is one of our institutions that we have as part of our organizations. But before we go on, I just want to take this opportunity to appeal to you to click on the subscribe button if you haven't done so. Subscribe to the channel and circulate the message in your network. And let us team up to create this awareness such that we will rise up to build our own towns and cities, our countries, that we will all be happy and pleased with. And so if you have already done that, so we just want to appreciate you and say we thank you for the work you are doing and continue to spread it. And so today we're going to look at a very important or key area in our lives. If you take Ghana, I'm using Ghana as a case study, but whatever I'm saying is applicable in all African countries. And so today we are going to look at military. We are looking for, the topic we are dealing with is the quest for uniform development and sustainable development across Ghana and all countries in Africa. Since independence, we talk of development. So the development we've been doing is we go for loans, we put up structures, and once the loan is finished or the loan is done, we don't have ways and means to sustain the structures that we've created. So they become dilapidated, dated, and then off they go. Then we go through the same cycle. You see, that is not sustainable. What we've been doing is not sustainable. We go for loans, we use it to construct feeder roads and all other things, we build things for the people in the rural areas. And as the money goes, they are unable to sustain it. Then we go through the same cycle. That is what we've been doing over since independence. And so we are looking at how to create a system that the system will maintain itself such that we don't have to do this kind of running up and down looking for loan and assistance. There are a lot of opportunities around us in Africa that if we are able to tap into them, we will be able to transform our lives and make Africa great. And so today I'm going to speak to you on the role of the military. So we are looking at the quest for uniform and sustainable development in Ghana and Africa. The military in perspective. And what I'm saying, I'm not asking for the military to be disbanded, but I'm looking at how we can leverage the strength and the skills that the military men and women have to develop nation. That is nation building, to build our nation. And so if you look at the Ghana Armed Forces, since independence, the Ghana Armed Forces actually, even since it was created, it has never engaged in any combat activities. Apart from those coup d'etats that the military staged in Ghana, the Ghana Armed Forces, the military, has never engaged in any warfare with any country. And this thing is the same thing in all African countries, especially if you take the sub-Saharan, if you take the West African sub-region. The wars that happened in Nigeria was intertribal. It was within the borders of Nigeria, the Biafra war. So it wasn't military, Nigerian military against Benin or Togo or whatever. If you take Sierra Leone, it's the same thing. It's more of ethnic conflicts, civil war. If you take Liberia, so if you look at our life, these are some of the wars that occurred after independence. But since independence, Ghana and all African countries, we've been, maintaining our military. And we are, spending huge sums of money in military equipment, their training, and all other things. But the fact is that no one in Ghana can actually say that this is the tangible contribution that the military has played in terms of Ghana based on the expenses we are making. You say, so what I'm proposing is to look at how we can leverage, once we have this standby army, that we don't even know the day that they'll be called into action. Let us see how we can use their strength to develop our towns, our cities. You see, and so what I'm saying is this. Instead of the governments, successive government and those to come, going to IMF, going to the World Bank, to contract loan and take aids and assistance to come and build feeder roads, simple bridges. Now is the time we have to take a look at the fall on the military to use their expertise to do this job at a very low and cheap cost. The military men and women, every military, every military have a unit that they trained their servicemen or the men and women in other areas. And one of the areas is road construction, engineering. The military is well known in this. Now we have military men who have gone through this training. The only thing they are doing is staying in the barracks. They don't do anything. And sometimes they terrorize citizens all over the world, all over the country. Now is the time for us to look at taking this aspect of their expertise and see how we can, transform our nations with it. So, what I'm proposing is this. If I am in the seat of the President of Ghana, His Excellency John Mahama today, I will set up paramilitary units in every district. And these paramilitary units will comprises all the street hawkers on the street of Accra, Kumasi, selling all those kind of things, young men and women. We will take them and put them in those paramilitary units in every district. Every youth coming out of secondary school has to perform at least 1 or 2 years service in that paramilitary service. And all that we're doing with them is the regular military, the engineering department will train them. And the only purpose for the paramilitary in all the districts is to build roads, linking villages to villages, building roads, bridges, using simple local technology. Instead of we going to IMF and taking the loan and then use the same loan to contract foreign contractors to come and do this for us, Let us see how best we can leverage the strength of the military to do the same thing at a very cheap or low cost. And when we do that, the youth that are stranded, that are looking for jobs but they cannot find, we automatically will find a way to channel their exuberance to do that. We give them reasonable pay. We give them reasonable services in the various districts. And in that case, we are able to open the country such that if you take your car from wherever you are, you can travel without any difficulty. If we are able to do this, let's give ourselves 5 years. Ghana will be transformed into a country that transportation will no longer be a difficulty. Farmers in the villages will not find it difficult to transport their goods into the cities to sell. Most of the farmers, especially those in the northern and the middle sector, those doing farming as yam farming. I'm from a yam farming community, and I know what I'm saying. Majority of their yams are actually the people go and buy it on the way. Some of them the accidents and other. It's kind of a hustle for the farmers to get their produce into the market to sell. And even common, simple transportation is difficult. And those of us that have had this education and we are in the city, some of us, we've bought even cars. If you are going back to your hometown or village, it's a difficulty. You cannot travel because the roads are not being maintained. The roads are not sustainable. We take money from overseas. Then we create the roads. After the roads are created, how to maintain the roads for them to stay on for a long period, we don't have. So when we have these paramilitary units in every district, they will be responsible for the creation and maintenance of the roads within each district. And each district, roads linking the district capital to another district capital or outside the capital, the roads will be shared between the districts, the paramilitary units in those times. And if we are able to do this and coordinate this well, you will see that we are linking our towns and villages together such that you can travel from one end to the other easily without putting ourselves in debt. We go for loan, we go for all this assistance. And what we do is we entangle ourselves in foreign debts. Now is the time for us to detangle ourselves from that. And the military unit or the military in Ghana can be a very useful unit that can provide this training for the youth. And if anything at all, we can even use this aspect in such a way that most of them that goes through this training, if they want to go into the regular army, there is a very simple pathway for them to pass through into the army. It is very unreasonable for us to leave all these resources lying down without tapping into them. And if I'm to give an example, the recent stampede involving young men going for enlistment, looking for job with the military in Ghana that led to the death of some of these young men, it shouldn't have happened. Already they are looking for jobs. The jobs are not there. So why can't we look out or think outside the box to create these jobs? But while we do that, we are using the exuberance to open up the country. And what I'm saying, if we do this, we'll be able to open up Ghana such that you can travel from one end to the other without having any difficulty. The roads, when they are going bad, there is already a unit of people, a group of people who will be called upon to maintain it. In that case, we are able to do these things and keep them for a longer period. There are local technologies that we can even leverage to do this. I have lived in the northern part of Ghana, and as a matter of fact, even where I come from, our place is more or less northern Ghana. The locals use these gravels and cow dungs, and they use it. That is why they used to cement the houses and even the corridors everywhere. As a matter of fact, if you go to the villages, some of the villages that the people have lived and left, if you go there, you will still see some of these things there intact. It's another form of asphalt. Why can't we study into this? and make it our own, our creation, so that we don't have to go outside using money to buy things that doesn't last. You say, so if I am the president of Ghana today, His Excellency John Mahama, this will be one of my priorities, using the military to open up the country. Every river will be named, every stream will be named, and every road that crosses a stream or this thing will have a bridge. And then we use local technology to, tie those roads, such that Ghana transportation will not be a difficulty for anyone in the country. And so this is the time we have to think outside the box. To be honest with you, the expenses, the expenditure on the maintenance of military, the equipment that we buy, we don't get anything from it. The men and women in the barracks, their salary, everything, we are spending this money for no reason, as a matter of fact. And if you look at developing countries, the militaries that we keep, you can actually liken it to going for an insurance in the West. And I think even in Africa, that's why it is. If you take an insurance policy, the rule is that once you go for a claim, they increase the premium. So whoever holds an insurance policy always take precautionary measures that there will not be accident for them to go and make a claim. So it is with Africa, Ghana, and everywhere. The greatest prayer we are making all the time is peace. There should be no war. Whilst we are praying for peace, we are creating military army and stocking them with equipment, with ammunition. You say, so why are we doing that? You've created an army, you've given them ammunition, and then you go to your church or whatever and pray for peace. And there will never be a day that Ghana would take arms and begin to attack Togo or Burkina Faso or even Ivory Coast. It will never happen. Ghana, Africa, our boundaries are well defined. And for that one, we respect each other. We've respected each other. There has never been such things. Even if there have been any, it is just one or two. We don't have this rampant attack of each other. So now is the time that we have to look outside the box. Let us use our minds. Let us begin to think outside the box to see how best we can transform our own country. And what I'm saying, if no country in the world has ever done that, let us be the first people to do it. And that becomes our signature. That is it. If no country has ever done that with their military, I will do it, or let us do it. And so that will be the first to do it, and other people too will look at it and copy, you see. And so what we are going through now, the underdevelopment of Africa, is self-inflicted. And it is because we are not thinking beyond the world. We just have one straight line, and that is what we want to do now. That is not how life is supposed to be. You must think outside the box. All your opportunities, all the difficulties, all the underdeveloped nature surrounding us, they are opportunities. And if we are able to look at it from a different angle, and then begin to search for ways to make this thing work, we will create newer technologies. We will create newer ways of life that other people will come and copy us. That is a fact. Those who have done things in America, Britain, they were not doing it for Africans. The cars and other things that have been invented, they were not doing it for Africans. They were attending to their own challenges. And it is only when they've created these things and they realize that this is good, then they started giving it to other people. And that made them great. That gave them more revenue. Why can't we also look at it that way? You say, so the military in Ghana needs to be evolved and to be given a new outlook. And that is, we're using the military to train the younger ones, the youth. Every youth coming through the secondary school will go and serve in the paramilitary in the districts. And that is to help to build bridges and roads and maintain them, so that we have a sustainable development. We have the same thing when you travel from Paga to Axim, you see the same thing. When you travel from the east to the west, you see the same thing. It is easy for us to travel across. And when we do that, all other African countries can leverage and also do that, you see. So now is the time. Let us reason. The work we are doing here is to bring out some of these ideas. Someone may say that my ideas are very radical. Yes, you need a radical thinking in order for you to go forward. You need radical thinking in order for you to go forward. And if you don't know, those who brought about aeroplane, they were radical thinker. For someone to get up and say that he's going to create an object that people can fly in, to be honest with you, almost everyone in their days were not thinking like that. And therefore, they were seen as what? Lunatics. But today, we are all flying, you see. So what I'm saying, if we will come together and begin to look at our situations in this perspective, especially when it comes to road construction and maintenance, especially in the rural areas, we can use or we can leverage the strength and the expertise of the army and then use it to train the youth. And we will be able to use the youth to open up the country. To be honest with you, all the street hawkers on the streets on Accra, Kumasi, and all the big towns will be carried into this. They will be enlisted into the paramilitary. And we will use their energies. We use their strength to build our roads, to build everything. Most of the infrastructures that are needed in the local areas can be done, you see. And so this is the time that we have to wake up. Africa, there are more opportunities. It's just that we are not opportunity oriented. This is just one area. And if we take our whole system, and begin to analyze it in this way, looking for local opportunities, ways and means that we can do this thing from ourselves locally, believe it or not, we will transform our towns, we will transform our cities, we will transform our communities, so that people will travel from all over the world to come and see at a very low and cheap price. The only thing we have to do, if we have to go for loan, if you have to go for any kind of assistance, is how to get the equipment. And now we have even to look at how best we can manufacture our own equipment. But at least if we take the labor and some of these things out, and we are only looking for money to buy the equipment, there must be a way. We can set up a corporation owned by both private and public, such that we can move this thing forward, that we can use the military and the youth to open up the country and make Ghana a modern nation, such that transportation will not be anything that people have to worry about. The common roads and common infrastructure in the local areas must not be anything that will go to IMF or World Bank to take loan and aid to come and do it, for them to dictate it to us. That is my message for you. A word to a wise is enough. So once again, I just want to appeal to you. If you think what we are doing resonates with you and you want to be part of it, please click on the subscribe button and leave a comment and let us know where you are speaking from. If you are in the GTA area in Canada and you want to be part of it physically, please leave a comment and I will connect with you so that we'll take it from there. Thank you, and God bless you for your time.